Everyone should be able to see my screen now. It's currently on coinmarketcap.com.
Yeah, it's working, Sharper.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Kino. And just trying to move this thing. I'll have to figure out how to do that later. Not a problem. Let's get started. So the way I like to break this down is I'll do a really brief introduction of myself. I'll do a really brief introduction of the parent company called Invest. Invest is, like I said, the parent company behind Global Exchange. Global Exchange is our exchange product that we will be discussing today. That is the point of focus for this opportunity webinar. That is kind of the product that is entering its market, product market fit, that has presented itself with a lot of excitement around the world for people to get involved, people to make money, people to get engaged. So once I explain a little bit about the parent company behind this, I'll go into what the problem set is that Global Exchange is trying to resolve in the crypto space. I will break down the product sets that Global Exchange offers. I will go into the token that ties it all together, and then I will finish it off with the product that allows you to get involved in benefiting off of this amazing operating system. So it's going to be a lot. I'm going to speak really fast. It's going to be condensed. Brace yourselves. So my name is Sharpan Parakaspathy. I am the one of the co-founders of Invest, and I grew up here in Toronto, Canada. I don't know how many of the people on the call are from Toronto. I went to school here before starting my own FX management fund, and what we did was we managed a lot of alpha overlay currency risk for institutions. After that, I went to start my own venture capital fund in Toronto, where we launched quite a bit of successful startups throughout the Greater Toronto area, but also in North America, some in the UK. And at the beginning of 2017, that venture capital fund really got interested in cryptocurrencies, which means I got really interested in cryptocurrencies. And ever since then, we have done nothing but invest into cryptocurrencies and overall the cryptocurrency industry. Everything that has ensued since then is a result of our very deep obsession and appreciation for the technological subject that is cryptocurrencies. And then that's what you'll see continue being a theme here as we go through the different companies, but particularly when we address the company of the day, which is Global Exchange. So our foray, so to give you a little bit of background on the parent company, me and my partner, Warren Carson, started Invest Bank, which used to be called Invest Canada, at the end of 2017 to solve a very pivotal problem in the cryptocurrency space, which is there's no company that's adequately servicing the older demographic for cryptocurrency. So our research showed us that even in the height of the bull run, when so many people were entering the space, so many new entries into the asset class, that all of, or not all, but the majority of the new entries came from 25 to 35-year-old males. What we wanted to service is the complete opposite demographic of that. We wanted to target 45 to 65-year-old families. And so that presents a new set of challenges. And those challenges is what we continue to address throughout all of our product lines. Essentially, that demographic of people are not technically sophisticated, or let me be more accurate in saying less technically sophisticated. They have less risk tolerance because they're not willing to, they're not willing to enter in speculative asset class without understanding it, and they have slow decision-making capacity. These are all demography studies that have been placed on these types of archetypes, and so we looked at them. But the other side of the equation is they hold all the money. They hold all the decision-making power within the family structure, and they have their capital is long-term capital. It's what fuels the large institutions of our day, and we knew that if there was an adequate onboarding mechanism for them, that they would come to appreciate the value that cryptocurrencies bring. It's just that no company was targeting them. And so our great idea back in 2017 was we will build a very robust hybrid banking software that takes the best of cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies. So something like a Coinbase that's a little bit geared toward longer term savings of crypto as opposed to the purchase of crypto. But we will distribute that through physical branches like banks. And so what we did is we executed a software strategy. We launched our software product in the middle of 2018 in Canada and the UK. This is a fully functional banking system, like online banking system that lets you deposit, transfer, move cryptocurrency, save it, long-term savings accounts, checkings accounts, etc. And then we launched a real estate strategy where we would go and acquire former bank buildings, branches, abandoned by Canadian banks or UK banks, and we would turn them into invest banks where people can come in and realize and actualize the software in new ways, in ways that feel safe for them. And so I'm actually sitting in our flagship location. This is in Toronto, Ontario. This is a former TD Canada Trust. You can't see it properly, but you have the whole teller apparatus. You have everything out there. And so it's very, very exciting. You can see and learn about us online. There's commercials about what the branch looks like. And so we duplicate this across the continent. And it's very exciting because it presents a new dimension to the space that's never been done before. That was our real entry into the into the cryptocurrency space. Ever since then, we have looked at a more diversified approach to cryptocurrencies because we understood that our banking infrastructure would be able to complement that. And so in 2018, our investors convinced us to launch something called Invest Group as a parent company, kind of, to Invest Bank. And you can learn about Invest Group at invest.com. Invest Group is a fully functional private equity fund or a private equity management company, which allows us to allocate capital into different growth companies in the crypto space. And so we've invested at this point in about 21 different companies that are long-term equity holders that we are in the space, everything ranging from, of course, what we know best, which is banking, all the way to enterprise products, data management products, media, exchanges. And so we have quite a diverse portfolio and reach into the crypto space. And we will continue to make those. And we incubate all of these companies to be able to scale at rapid speed and enter the market. How do we do all of this? And where are all of these products built? This is where Global Exchange, the company we're going to talk about today, has been built as well. We have a series of campuses across the world where we incubate the best blockchain entrepreneurs as well as the best blockchain engineers. So the largest one that we have is in Bangalore, India. You can learn about that at bangalore.investcampus.com. We're the largest investor into the crypto space in southern India. We have a 120-person facility there now. Just the best engineers, the best the security architects and the space research analysts. And here companies come to really access the state-of-the-art technology services that we offer. And so that allows us to scale quickly and build and be on the cutting edge. We also have the similar facility in London. You can find that at london.investcampus.com. It's not as big as our Bangalore operation, but because it's London, we have about 12 employees there, but it's the same idea where you can, London and Birmingham really, and then you can come in and take the idea, take the business model into the field. Now we're building one in Toronto. We suspect that Toronto is actually going to be our biggest one once we're done with it. And it's going to be fantastic. Why am I telling you all of this? To give you an idea of who's behind the company and the amount of money and time that has gone into architecting these very state-of-the-art solutions and what type of thinkers we are. There's no one that, unless you're an extremely long-term thinker, you wouldn't make any of these investments into real estate, into infrastructure, into these growth companies, because it's not really an immediate churn on profit. What we're looking for is to have an entrenched place in the cryptocurrency market and produce products that will help proliferate it. So that's from there. I have stopped my background on what it is that we're doing, and we will get into the actual product and the actual opportunity of the day. So I always start with this part of my presentation because I think it lays the proper context for what we're getting into. This is coinmarketcap.com. It's a very famous website in the cryptocurrency space. It is visited about 78 million times per month. It is by far the most popular website in cryptocurrency, and it is the 5th most popular finance website in the world, getting more hits on a monthly basis than Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg. It's remarkable. Most people come to CoinMarketCap to check the price of Bitcoin because this is a data aggregation platform. It allows you to see prices. So they come and they see the price of their favorite cryptocurrency and whether it's up or down. What our team gets excited about is not the price of the underlying asset, but is the actual price movement that takes place in the cryptocurrency market. I always said that if there's a gold rush occurring, you don't want to be the person that's digging for gold, which is what you're doing when you're picking cryptocurrencies. You want to be the person who builds shovels. And so in this scenario, there's a couple key statistics that you have to pay attention to if you really want to make money in this space, and it's not the price of Bitcoin. First statistic you want to pay attention to is this one, market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies. So what that tells us is that the total dollar value of all cryptocurrencies is $180 billion as of today. That is 1/7 what it was at the crescendo, which is December of 2017, 1/7. The next very important statistic, which I think is more important than the one I just showed you, is this, 24-hour trading volume. And it says here that 24-hour trading volume for cryptocurrencies is $45 billion. Now, $45 billion as functional trading volume in absolute terms is not that much. But $45 billion compared to the total market cap is absolutely outrageous. That is mind-boggling. That is a capital velocity ratio of 1/4.5 almost. If you think that any asset trades that type of volume, it's, again, just a mind-boggling accomplishment about how much velocity exists in the space. Let me just mute the person who just joined us. Okay, and so what that tells us is that there are people making money by making markets. And they're in the right business because even in a down market, they are making money because someone's selling. In an up market, they're making money because someone's buying. And so who are these characters? They are the exchanges in the cryptocurrency space. You've probably heard of many of them. I would assume if you're in the cryptocurrency space, you probably used many of them. And CoinMarketCap is so gracious that they aggregate all of this data for us so we can actually look at, one second, let me check by adjust by reported volume. If we look at the exchanges by reported volume, so these are not cryptocurrencies, these are exchange platforms. They're not coins, they're platforms that allow you to trade crypto. So if you look at the largest one as of reported volume, it's one called BitMax. In the last 24 hours, BitMax had a trading volume of 3.7 billion US dollars. They launched in July of 2018. So they are, 10 months old or 9 months old. Now, if we think about what that means they've provided a marketplace where people can be a buyer and a seller, and they're taking a transaction fee for that. The average, and that's what all of these do. There's about 260 exchanges in the world of meaningful size, and they are doing incredible volumes. The second biggest one, Fcoin, is doing 2.3 billion. These are exchanges that started less than 12 months ago that have been able to scale incredibly quickly. The average exchange fee that's being charged is 0.1% to 0.25% of all volume. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and just say it's 0.1%. It's not, but let's just say it is. Which means in the last 24 hours, BitMax cleared $3.7 million in profit. And that is going to only increase as the market starts to proliferate, because whatever happens in the market, BitMax is making money, Binance is making money, OKX is making money. So in theory, this is a picture-perfect business model. They have no real liabilities except the fact that they make markets. They're not hedging their currency risk. It's amazing. Except there are two huge issues. These two issues are not issues that we came up with. It's issues that the brightest minds in the crypto space, the largest thought leaders in the crypto space have been articulating since the beginning of Bitcoin, which is number one, well, first you have to understand what is a cryptocurrency. All a cryptocurrency is a set of private keys. Your set of mnemonic private keys encrypts your position on the blockchain. If you have access to your private keys, then you have access to your crypto. You can move it, you can do whatever you want with it. If someone else has access to your private keys, they have control over your crypto, not you. When you are trading or using any of these platforms, you are giving up your private keys to the exchanges. So you are virtually what's happening is you're uploading your balance, your asset from your computer onto their computer. And now they have access to it. And that presents two massive issues. The first one is called negligence, which is what happens when they don't give back the money. Now, I'm not looking at this and saying, well, they should give back the money. Why would they give back the money when you've just given them access to your private keys and they don't have to give it back? They can do whatever they want with it. There's no regulatory solution to make sure they give it back because it's not something so easily trackable like a fiat bank account. It is completely off the grid, and people can run off or just lose, or due to bad management, lose hundreds of millions of dollars, which happens all the time. And frankly, I don't understand why it doesn't happen more often, because you've just given them the keys to the kingdom. That's one problem, which is negligence. And there's really no good solution for that. The other problem is actually more dire, which is security vulnerability. And this happens because of a risk-reward ratio that you start to see. If we all have 10 computers and we all have our private keys and we're holding $100 on each computer, that means the most lucrative thing to steal here is $100. So if a hacker gets into one computer, he's taking $100. As soon as we move, as soon as all 10 of us move our $100 onto a centralized computer, now it's a $1,000 reward for the same risk. So the chances of them going after that are much higher than had it been $100. And that is what's called the risk to reward ratio in cybersecurity. Now, simply put it like this. On BitMax, there's probably $7 billion, $8 billion worth of assets that belong to hundreds of thousands of people sitting on a set of centralized computers. So what dollar amount can they possibly spend to protect that? There's nothing. It doesn't work. The security architecture is flawed. I always give the example that one of my favorite exchanges, Binance, I've been using them for a very long time. They're incredible. They are sitting on about $10 billion in crypto assets. Imagine if they spent $1 million a month in security, in vulnerability protection. That's a huge cybersecurity budget. That means they're spending $12 million a year to try to ensure 12 billion virtually, 10 billion. Why wouldn't someone spend 13 million to take that 10 billion? When the security architecture is flawed because you have to centralize those assets in order to use them. So it's only a matter of time before all exchanges get hacked. Every day there's $3.6 million in cryptocurrency that gets hacked. I'm surprised the number is not more. I'm sure the number will increase, not because not because there's any issue, but because there's a fundamental security vulnerability. So before I move on to our solution, why do customers in the hundreds of thousands, soon to be millions, give up their private keys and willingly go on these platforms and subjugate them to this type of risk? Because they want fast trades. All of these exchanges have deep order books, which means you can get in and out of trades quickly, in milliseconds, in hyper milliseconds as they would denominate it. And that drug of being able to get in and out of positions quickly is lucrative enough for them to give up their private keys. It is a Faustian bargain that is being made on a daily basis that no one really thinks is wrong, of course, until their exchange is the one that goes down. And then they come to see the dangers of sacrificing security for quick trades. However, the solution that's going to be presented to this cannot be slow. The solution that has to be presented to this cannot be inconvenient. You cannot ask someone who has a problem with McDonald's to stop eating McDonald's and eat broccoli. You have to give them a hybrid solution that satisfies their craving, their insatiable craving for fast trades, deep order books, while embedding a security architecture that makes sense. And this is what we think we come up with. We're not the only company working on this. There are lots of great companies taking different attempts at this. We are the only company that's taking the approach that I'm about to articulate. And if you can have an understanding of the magnitude of the problem that's being solved, then you can see why this opportunity is like none other. So how we plan on solving this and bringing a new dimension to the exchange market is by our company, Global Exchange. Our product development team has been working on Global Exchange for 16 months. That has been augmented by about 3 years of research, just basic research that had to be done in order to accomplish what I'm about to talk about. So this is a long time coming, and we did not even want to enter the market until we felt like we had a reasonable solution to this tremendous problem. So what is Global Exchange? You'll learn about it at globalexchange.com. Global Exchange is the world's first exchange operating system. So instead of building an exchange which will be susceptible to the same juxtaposition, are we going to do fast trades or are we going to do security? What we want to do is build an operating system, or what we've done is build an operating system that actually disintermediates, decouples all the functions of an exchange and gives it back to the user to take control of it. So it's giving a customer the ability to manipulate his or her cryptocurrency experience and get the best aspects and use whatever aspect they want. Now, and the word operating system shouldn't be new to you. Companies that have made fortunes building very successful operating systems include Microsoft with originally DOS and now Windows. Apple, obviously, with Mac OS. Linux has done it in an open source fashion. What do all of those companies have in common? What do their products have in common? Is that they took the monolithic functions of computing and they broke it up. And they said, here, you take it, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, and you do whatever the hell you want with it. We couldn't care less what you do with it. But the function of breaking it up and giving it to the client in an easy to use manner is priceless. And so how do we do that and what does it look like is going to be explained on this website, trade.globalexchange.com. You can see our entire family of apps in our control panel where you can access the remainder of the operating system. But if you come down here, you can see a bigger version of our app family. The main application, the one that actually solves the problem that I highlighted in the previous segment, is called GX Trade. GX Trade is a routing engine, and simply put, what GX Trade does is it connects your private wallet where you keep custody of your crypto assets. You have your private keys to 170 of the largest exchanges in the world, including these very popular exchanges that you see up. And so that might not sound like a big deal, but let me just explain what that actually looks like. Now, instead of uploading the balance, your entire balance onto an exchange and giving them complete access to your private keys, you're keeping the balance and you're routing only the trading element, only what you want to exchange to whatever exchange you want, which means you are reducing your vulnerability, you are reducing the exchange's vulnerability by multitudes, and you are leveraging what you want to, which is their order book. Now, there are also some superficial benefits. Since this acts as a routing engine, you no longer need to create multiple exchange accounts. I'm sure people in the crypto space can tell you that because of the way that these exchanges are siloed off, you have to create exchange accounts with all of them. With us, you create one and you get access to all of your favorite exchanges. Number two, you don't have to do KYC on all of these exchanges, which is very onerous. You can do it on one platform. Number three, you don't have to pay withdrawal and deposit fees on all of these exchanges, which just adds up to be a tremendous cost. Number four, you have price discovery from all of these exchanges as opposed to price discovery from one, which gives you a much more robust overlay of the market. So now I'm going to play a video on how this actually looks, or how does it actually demo. And I'll screen share that video, make sure it gets out to everyone.
It's never too late to change your love. So don't let them steal your life. Don't let them break your stride. On the other side, you'll see all the rain come.
So you can watch the remainder of the video on your own time, but I'm just going to play back the last 15 seconds and voice it over so you guys have a clear understanding of exactly what just occurred. So this is our GX Access trading terminal. It's an open SD trading SDK that you can download onto your computer or use online. And basically what it does is like a standard trading terminal that lets you interact with the markets. Looks like every other trading terminal on the market. However, there's one key difference. Up here, there's a little button that you can't see in this picture, but when we go to the next slide, it'll show you, which says routing to Binance. And what happens when the user clicks that is they get a data aggregation interface that pops up that gives them the information of all of the exchanges that could route that trade they want to perform. And at the click of a button, they can click whichever exchange they want and the trade would be routed there. They can set a default exchange that it always routes to. Why is this so important? Is because it now gives people choice as to where they want to send their trade and gives them ultimate control over their balance. And just like how Expedia or a hotels.com proliferated because they were there at the right place at the right time to give you the right information, we're doing the same thing, but the implications of ours are much more gargantuan because we explained the security flaws with what it does. This customer, for example, clicked Binance. So if you watch that, they're going to click Binance because they want to route to Binance, and then it's going to ask them, are you sure you want to make this trade go to Binance? When they click confirm, they immediately now get all of Binance's pricing data, and every trade goes to Binance here, they're out. And so that is exactly how GX Trade works, and that is the centerpiece of our operating system. Around GX Trade, we've built a series of apps that further augment and enable the trader or the customer, the institution, to be able to access the cryptocurrency market. Some of them are much more lighter and high-touch plays, and some of them are much more infrastructure like GX Trade. Some of the high-touch places, like, for example, GX Live, which is available at live.globalexchange.com. This is a social networking platform for cryptocurrency enthusiasts. People from all over the world, analysts from all over the world come on and they make alerts, they do market analysis, they do price action analysis, they publish articles, and it's completely free. They do reviews. It's a network of people that want to continue to proliferate great data about the cryptocurrency space. If you've ever used something like a trading view for equity markets, that's what we're trying to emulate here with GX Live. We went into beta testing for this about 4.5 months ago, and the results that we've gotten have been great. And so we have a social media execution strategy for this, as well as the online website where people get really great information. We also launched something called GX Academy, and GX Academy is an end-to-end learning software for people that want to learn about the cryptocurrency market. So just like a Udemy, you can come on here, you can pick courses, you can make courses, and you can have a robust learning environment for people that want to further their knowledge base. So those are two examples of data-driven products that we've built into the operating system. We have GX Decentral, which is a routing engine for decentralized exchanges. We have something called initial fund offerings, which allows people to create decentralized money management smart contracts. But then I want to focus here on this one, which is called GX Markets. You click this, you'll be redirected to markets.globalexchange.com. The white paper specifically for GX Markets has already been released and peer reviewed, and it's a remarkable accomplishment. I'm going to explain what it does and its implications on the operating system, because GX Markets together with GX Trade is what ties this promise together. What is GX Markets? It is a decentralized money market protocol. Simply put, a money market in the traditional financial space is a short-term liquidity pool that are used by the largest institutions in the world for 1 to 180-day lending. In English, governments and banks participate in a huge game of liquidity where they put in the supply and take out demand that are trading in the trillions, usually over government T-bonds, US Treasury bonds, and euro dollar accounts. Why is it useful? Because money markets translate interest rates to the general market. And so the reason there is a real interest rate in the economy in any given country is because the money markets, the institutions dealing in there, are translating the Fed rate into what we would consider retail interest rates. Why is this important, and why is the fact that cryptocurrency doesn't have an equivalent stagnating the growth of cryptocurrency? These are why you need AGX markets. You need the ability to short, which fundamentally doesn't exist right now unless you're talking about a Bitcoin futures contract. You have no time value for your crypto. What does this mean? There's no incentive. There's no real-time interest rate that pays you to hold crypto without having to give up access to your crypto. So if you're giving up access to your crypto to some trader to trade it, that's not time value. That's you making an investment. Time value is the market regulated interest rate that you get for holding long-term crypto or long-term dollars. So that's interest rate mechanics. There's no time value there. There's no port. I think someone just unmuted themselves. Let me mute. Perfect. The other reason is there's no portfolio liquidity for cryptocurrency holders. What do I mean by this? A lot of my friends suffered from this problem. I suffered from this problem. We're all very enthusiastic about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We think Bitcoin's going up. So what do? We go buy a lot of it. We go buy hundreds of Bitcoins, hundreds of Ethereums. And guess what? It doesn't go up as fast as we think. So, and guess what still occurs? We still have bills, we still have businesses to run, we still have things that we need money for while we're holding all this crypto, and it's functionally useless. So what do we have to do? We have to sell our cryptocurrency and get the liquidity event. What do we lose? We lose the future appreciation of that crypto. So right now there's no liquidity for your portfolio, which is a translation of there's no ability to borrow in a decentralized way. And these are the problems that a money market has solved in the traditional financial space that we are trying to bring into the crypto space. How does this actually work? And remember, there are some companies, a lot of them I know closely, that are doing lending in the crypto space in a centralized fashion where you give them your crypto and they lend it out on your behalf. I think that's about as smart as centralized exchanges. So it seems like a fantastic idea. I hope it works, but the security architecture is flawed when you're giving up your private keys. So what we've designed is a decentralized way for you to be able to leverage your crypto. And so really what happens in a GX market is if you have one Ethereum or whatever cryptocurrency, you are able to stake that. You're able to supply that into your money market. That's a smart contract protocol that's controlled by your private keys. And so now your one Ethereum that you own is in your money market. And while it's in your money market, you retain ownership of it. It will give you a collateralized value. That value is based on how valuable it is today. So let's say one Ethereum is $100. So you have $100 of collateralized value and you own that one Ethereum. The market will then allow you to take out up to 50% of your collateralized value. So you'll always have a 2-to-1 ratio. The smart contract has to keep you at a 2-to-1 ratio. It's not a human doing it. It's governed by the smart contract that's pre-programmed to keep you at this ratio. So you put in $100 worth of Ethereum or one Ethereum, you could take $50 of another cryptocurrency out. Let's just say you take $50 of EOS out. So now you're liquid $50 and you still have your $100 of Ethereum that you own in the money market. This is a game changer because what this is allowing you to do is have liquidity. You can sell that EOS for dollars and pay for bills. You can sell that EOS for another cryptocurrency and leverage. You can short EOS using this mechanism. You can do so many things because you now have liquidity. And whenever you want your Ethereum back in your possession, you just pay off the EOS balance and you get the Ethereum back. There is no negotiations with anyone. There is no giving up of your private keys. There is no terms or agreements. There's no time. You don't have to pay back anything in a period of time. You never even have to pay back if you don't want your collateralized asset back. How does this work? This is very simple. The smart contract is governed to keep you at a 2-to-1 ratio. So you put in 100 worth of Ethereum. If the value of the asset that you collateralized goes up, relative to the value of the asset that you took out, now you're at above a 2-to-1 ratio. You might be at 2.1 to 1. You might be at 2.5 to 1. And so the smart contract sells off your surplus in order to pay down your balance, so you don't have to pay that back, and you are still that much closer to being able to take your Ethereum out. That's the best case scenario because you collateralize the right asset. The worst case scenario is the asset you collateralized goes down versus the asset that you took out. So now you're breaking the 2-to-1 ratio, and the smart contract won't allow you to do that. In microtransactions, it sells off your collateral piece by piece to make sure you stay at a 2-to-1 ratio. So you no longer have your one full Ethereum, which doesn't sound so great. But you have to remember, you're holding in your hands the asset that has gone up. So you are always a net neutral at what you put in. So the best case scenario is that you leverage up and you're able to benefit off of the market fluctuations. The worst case scenario is that it stays at a 1 ratio. Whatever you put in is the dollar value that you keep. But during this time, you have liquidity, and whatever you collateralize is earning a real market interest rate without giving up your private keys. Now, why is this so significant? Is because when you tie this with the GX trade, you now have a perfect architecture, or as close to a perfect architecture as you're going to get. So let's tie it back. What happens is that every GX user by default holds their balance in their money market. So as soon as you start using Global Exchange, your balance is in a money market that you control earning interest. It only leaves that balance when you want to route your trade to one of the biggest exchanges in the world using GX Trade. So now you own your money, you are earning the time value of that money, you are keeping the long-term appreciation of that asset, and you have access to the most liquid order books on planet Earth. That is the GX operating system from a product perspective. There's still more things to talk about. If you're a technician, we can talk about things for hours and hours and hours. Each one of these products have such a level of nuance and sophistication to them, and it is super, super exciting. Now that I've explained to you a high level about how the product works, we can go directly into how people are getting involved and benefiting off of the platform that I just described. So this is the token, the ICO website. We are doing a token offering for our GX token, and the GX token is the single mechanism by which you access the operating system. So if you want to access the initial fund offerings, GX markets, GX trade, any of those things, your wallet needs to have GXT so the smart contracts can process the transaction. The comparison I make is Ethereum. So why is Ethereum valuable today is only for one great reason, and it's a great reason. In order to execute smart contracts, to run ICOs, to run STOs, to run DAOs, to run any type of DApp, you need to have Ethereum in your wallet. So whether you believe in Ethereum going up or not, there is a functional utility that's baked into it that causes the smart contract machines to buy it. And that is exactly how GXT function. Whether you like it or not, you need to use it. It is the currency for the operating system. So it's a very exciting currency. It has a fixed supply side. There is only 350 million GXT in circulation. You go validate, that's a completely auditable smart contract. It is end-to-end 350 million, out of which we are selling, oh, by the way, you can come here and see exactly how the OS is set up. You can see what functions it serves. Out of the 350 million, we are selling 300 million tokens. Now, we divided this token sale into 3 tranches that extend over 2019. The first tranche was a private sale. Our objective was that no one, apart from the people that we vetted, was supposed to find out, and we failed miserably at that objective because other people found out. That sale went from January 1st of this year to March 31st. And that was called phase one. And in phase one, we sold 100 million tokens at a price point of 0.0006 Ethereum. Now, the dollar value of the token fluctuates because Ethereum fluctuates, but on average, that was about 10 US cents a token. Now we're in phase two, and phase two is the public sale. Now is when we are executing our marketing efforts, we are propagating the branding, and we are inviting anyone who wants to participate in the token sale to participate freely. Here, we will be selling another 100 million GX tokens, but we're selling it for the price of 0.0018 Ethereum, and that is approximately 30 US cents a token. This extends from now until August 1st or July 31st. That's a very important day because on August 1st is when all of the products go live. The entire operating system goes live for functional use on August 1st, 2019. Not only that, the token itself is listed on the OS for trading on August 1st. So the token is completely liquid and uncaptive. You can buy more, you can sell it. It's completely up to you. Now, there's a very important distinction. That means we're going to go live with all of our products and our token even before the ICO is done. Because after August 1st, once the platform is live, there's still another 3 months where we're finishing the ICO and we'll be selling another 100 million GXT, actually about 110, 20 million GXT at that point for 0.0054 Ethereum, just triple the value of what it is right now. But at this point, the marketing efforts are virtually done. Everyone has the platform. It's already sensational for the people that use it. And so that will just be distributed directly through the exchange. And so this three-tranche strategy allows us to have a very unique time right now. This is the most lucrative and important time in global exchange because it is before the product launch, but after we're in token sale mode. So what you can do right now is pre-register for the product by purchasing GX tokens. Now, why would you do that and how we plan on distributing it is actually why you're on this call. So we have thought long and hard about what is the mechanism by which we can onboard the uninitiated. Invest Bank was an attempt at onboarding the uninitiated that we're still undergoing. Global Exchange is an attempt at onboarding the uninitiated in a different demographic. So we studied a lot the traditional financial industries, the traditional financial apparatus. And what we found is that cryptocurrencies is not unlike any other complex financial product. And every single financial product you guys use is very complex. No one understands any of them. The people that use it definitely don't understand them. They share all of the negative qualities about cryptocurrency that people espouse as the stagnating process, why it's not mainstream adopted. Let me just pick on insurance, for example. No one that buys insurance understands it. If you ask someone about their policy, they wouldn't be able to explain it to you. How the insurance company makes money, the average person doesn't know. But why is it that insurance has become a mainstream product? And this question really flabbergasted us for a long time, me and my team, until we came to the real, startling and unbeknownst realization that every single one of those products have a brokerage apparatus. They have a very sophisticated brokerage layer. Insurance, real estate, mortgages, seg funds, mutual funds, any type of registered investment products. They all have brokers whose job is to decomplexify these complex financial instruments that go out every day and are incentivized to onboard people into the financial instrument. And that is actually why they get accepted as mainstream financial products. And why cryptocurrency has not is simply because there's no one doing that because they don't get compensated for that. There's no vehicle for them to do that. And so the only people that find out about cryptocurrency are the people that go look. But no one looks for financial products. That's just not how the industry is built. Cryptocurrency is direct to consumer, but it needs a brokerage layer so that they can onboard the uninitiated. And so that is why, after much product development, we have launched this product, which is called GX Broker. And GX Broker allows anyone and any institution to launch their own cryptocurrency brokerage using our technology. And so what it allows you to do is now become the onboarding ramp into the cryptocurrency space. And how does it work? It gives, if you want to become a GX broker, you get your own GX broker store by which you have your checkout links, and people can go on your GX brokerage and just buy Bitcoin. They can buy Ethereum. They can buy tokens. They can onboard into the OS. And when they do that, you get a customer for life. As soon as they make a singular transaction, they're locked to your brokerage for life. And if you remember all those fees that the exchanges are making, we redistribute 100% of our 0.1% fee back to our brokers. And so now everyone has the ability to earn like an exchange without having to do any of the infrastructure work as an exchange. They don't have to worry about liquidity. They don't have to worry about market risk. They don't have to worry about software development, fulfillment, none of that. Everyone has the ability to launch their brokerage and onboard into the cryptocurrency space and build a book of business that's going to pay them forever in the most exciting financial asset class in history, in my opinion. And you know, it's incredible. You have your own access to your advanced CRM, 24/7 support by the company, instant payments, diverse innovative product lines, world-class and it just keeps going on. And it is an incredible streamlined, it is an incredibly streamlined process. And what does it look like? This is what our GX brokerage stores look like. Right? Oh, so let me give you context here. Remember what I said, August 1st, launch date. Right now, you can't sign up, but you can purchase tokens. But you know what product is available? The GX broker. So that everyone who wants to be a broker can sign up now and go onboard people into the token. And as soon as they onboard someone into the token, that customer which they just onboarded is their customer for life. And if they onboard a broker, that's their broker for life. And they get paid on every single transaction. So they're stacking their brokerage so that come August 1st, their brokerage is already built. Everyone goes and uses the platform. They're already built their brokerage and they're just ready to get paid. So there's lucrative compensation on all the tokens that you sell. There's lucrative compensation on all the further transactions that are being processed. And so this is what a GX broker store actually looks like. Right now, it's built to sell GXT. In a couple of weeks, we'll be launching the option for people to sell Bitcoin and Ethereum. Come August 1st, you can use this to onboard into the live platform itself. So look how simple it is for one of your clients to get in on whatever cryptocurrency they want right now, GXT. I always had this philosophy that if my grandmother couldn't use a product, it's too complicated. And my grandmother is a very rustic woman from the interlands, so she has to be able to use it in order for us to have successfully designed a simple product. They come here. They don't even know that they're using your GX brokerage. It looks just like a simple checkout page. You can run whatever promotion you want down here. We offer a series of promotions that GX brokerages leverage. They click that, and then your customer will just simply enter the amount of tokens they want to buy. So if she wants to buy $100 worth of tokens, it will give her a live quote on what that price is. Soon they can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. It'll give them the live quote on what that price is. Next, they proceed to select what payment mechanism they want to use. We have successfully accepted every single payment method you can imagine. Bitcoin, Ethereum are for the crypto guys. We also accept Interact e-transfer if you're in Canada directly to Global Exchange. Wire transfer directly to Global Exchange. If you want to use a wallet apparatus, we have our own Invest wallet that we've launched into the Chrome browser that you can pay with. And of course, the big one, you can pay with credit card as well. So now your customers who are new to the space can easily onboard into it. Next, we ask them, do they have a wallet already set up? Chances are they don't. If they do, then they just enter their wallet address and they get their crypto. If they don't, all they have to do is select no and enter their email, and one of our onboarding specialists will call them, set up a time with them to set up their wallet on their own computer, and you don't even have to do any of that's all paid for by the company. And then at that point, they would enter their email and they would be done. They would have to pay. And since they selected credit card, they'd be paying with credit card. If they selected another option, they'd be paying with that option. Once they're done checking out, you've just earned a new customer that every time they use the cryptocurrency markets, you're getting paid. They also have the ability to launch their own brokerage in under 5 minutes. We released YouTube videos on how people can do all of this, how people can find their tokens, how people can leverage their brokerage. So let me just do a quick recap because I think I have gone through everything successfully. We have built a very unique mechanism of solving a very complex problem, which is security and access to cryptocurrency markets by building an operating system, the world's first one. We have tied it together with a very innovative token that has even more innovative token economics that has a lot of upside based on the demand for the services that we talked about. And then we are allowing anyone to become a GX broker and leverage all of this technology and onboard people into the product line and into the cryptocurrency space and build a real business based off of that. And the way that the timeline is scheduled is highly favorable to the GX brokers because between now and August 1st, they're getting people involved, stacking their brokerage, and come August 1st, they're making money off of it. Two other little tidbits that I would like to throw in before concluding and opening it up to questions. Number one, if you're already in the crypto space and you're already doing a crypto business, this is your best friend because now you have an onboarding ramp for your crypto business. Everyone that's going to use your crypto business needs Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever currency. You've just externalized that cost until now and said, just go sign up with Coinbase, go sign up with CoinSquare. Now they can sign up with your GX brokerage for your platform. You're making money the entire way. That's what I love about this. This is the infrastructure layer for whatever you want to do in the crypto space. The second thing I want to talk about is timing. So like I said, no one was supposed to find out about this until April 15th. We had extended the March 31st deadline until April 15th, but that wasn't successful. People had found out. I actually live in Asia and watch over all of our Asian operations. Canadian operations are watched over by my partner, Warren Carson, but I came back to Canada about 2-3 weeks ago to set up with the key brokers who they're going to be in Canada, how they're going to get off the ground, and has turned into a wildfire. I mean, brokers are, the appetite for the product is really, really impressive. And there's probably now about 100 brokers over the last week or so, and that is nothing. I mean, by the time the launch comes around, there'll be tens of thousands because it's free and you get the most lucrative asset in the crypto space. Technically, after August 1st, there's no fees with the GX broker, but after August 1st, it's free. Before August 1st, in order to become a GX broker, you have to buy $500 worth of the token. So it's still free. You're not paying for a fee. You are just buying the token so you support the network that's allowing you to do this. Why is that the case? Because you're getting a head start over everyone else. So we think that's fair. And then the point that we're making is I am actually going off to Vancouver tomorrow or the day after. I think it's the day after because we have the brokerage teams getting set up there before flying to Taipei to speak at the World Blockchain Summit alongside Roger Ver and some other prominent people in the space, where we'll be launching this to a crowd of about 1,500 people in Taipei in Asia. And then I'll be doing that in a couple other Asian countries. And obviously you can imagine the popularity of crypto in Asia and what type of effects that will have. And that's really our backyard. Canada is a ripe market. The United States is a very interesting market. We're really excited about the trajectory that we stand. The advantage to Canadians and Canadian brokers is that you are home to the world's first crypto bank in terms of Invest, which is the parent company of Global Exchange. And Global Exchange itself is a Canadian company that's regulated by FINTRAC. And so you have home court advantage as it pertains to this. So I know that was a ton of information. I thoroughly appreciate all of you guys listening to all of that so diligently. I will open up the floor for questions if anyone has any instant questions. If not, you can get back to the person that invited you to the webinar and they can help you get started. They can answer your questions. They can get you more information, whatever it so may be. So I'll wait for a couple minutes to see if there are any questions. Oh, 2 chats. Let's see what people are chatting about. Okay, great question. So Alicia asks, I believe, two questions. I'm going to try. Is there still a risk when accessing the trading platform's cryptocurrency is still a risk? When accessing the trading platform's cryptocurrency is still a risk, and how does Global Exchange make money? Perfect. Let me answer the second one, and then I'll go into the first one. That's a great question. We charge a 0.01% routing fee on all the trades that are routed, and we give 100% of that away to our brokerages in a very elaborate compensation structure. Now, we don't make any money off the trades. Where we make our money is in the money markets. So how does Ethereum or a decentralized exchange make money? They build in contract fees, which are a little bit different than transaction fees. Contract fees are when you write a smart contract, you can embed your fees in your native currency. So when we wrote the GX markets, which is completely open source, we've embedded in their contract fees for people that are transacting in it, and those are microtransactions, so it happens all the time. So the larger the pool in the GX markets, the more money we make. So we're giving away virtually the routing engine so that the GX markets are full and plush. So that's how we make money. It's a much larger picture. Obviously, there are ancillary data services. We sell institutional terminals. We sell data products like educational products. So there's some ancillary ways, but the real lucrative is contract fees. Yes, so the trading markets, Binance, if you're trading using our exchange on Binance, they have their own fees. So you're never going to get away from paying their fees. You were already paying their fees when you use them. Now what you're able to do using the routing engine is access Binance without giving up your private keys. That's not where we make money though. That's a service we render to pull this whole thing together. The balances that you're holding is held in this contract called GX Markets, which pays you your live interest rate and allows you to collateralize it, like you said, without having to gamble it away. Whenever you're making transactions there, you're being charged a micro transaction fee in GXT. That's how we make money. So if you think about it like this, what's a good example? You know, obviously, and digital companies a lot of times give away something in order to be able to accumulate data. In the same way, we're giving away the GX trade system in order to be able to build the liquidity in the money market. So that's actually how the company makes money. The other question is, when accessing the trading platform's cryptocurrency is still a risk? Well, cryptocurrencies, if you're trading cryptocurrencies, generally there's a risk of them devaluing themselves. So I mean, that is kind of an inescapable risk. But I would say that in terms of our native cryptocurrency, the risk is, I never actually looked at our cryptocurrency as an investment product. Essentially, what we look at it as, although many other people look at it as an investment product, what we look at it as is gas. If you want to use this operating system, you need gas. And the more people that want to use it, there's still a fixed supply, the demand will go up and that price will go up. And so for you, the long-term bet on GXT is, are people going to use this platform in order to process their trades? If they are, then absolutely the price will go up as a function of the supply and demand. So then Vision 17 asks, InvestPay is enabling a merchant to accept crypto and settle in a fiat in their bank. That is correct. InvestPay is not related to Global Exchange, but that is exactly what it's doing. We have actually just demoed for the first time what the transaction looks like on InvestPay. It's very exciting. InvestPay.com will be launching very shortly. And essentially what it does, I'll give you guys a little bit of a teaser, is this thing called crypto cashback, which is really what we worked on InvestPay for. Is we've partnered with a bunch of payment processor, Pay Kings, and all of these guys so that merchants can add InvestPay buttons to their online store. Right now it's only online, and a person coming on the online store can just pay in credit card. They're not paying in crypto. The merchant's not getting crypto. So what happens is a customer comes, it'll say pay with PayPal, pay with InvestPay, pay with Visa, whatever. They click InvestPay, they buy their shoes online, they get to set in their InvestPay account what cryptocurrency they want as cashback. And so a percentage of their fiat transaction is given back to them. It's like rewards points, but you're building up your crypto portfolio every time you purchase. And so that is killing two birds with one stone. Of course, if the merchant wants to accept it in crypto, he can do that. That's easy. InvestPay can do that with its eyes closed. The real challenge is, can you engender mainstream adoption through customer consumption? And yes, that's going to be a very exciting process. Hopefully, we're working right now with a really credible person in the payment space to build our own debit card or Visa card. And so that should be launching in about 45 days. And then you'll be able to withdraw all of your GX profits from your brokerage and your exchange and spend it on transactions in the real world. But that's still a 45 days outlook. So yeah, hope I answered that question. I know that's a little bit more information, but you guys should be excited about InvestPay. It's very exciting. I'm third phase. The hard cap is 100. Well, the more space created. I don't exactly understand your question, but I think I get it. So I'm going to try to take
Recap the question.
Oh, what she's asking is, in the third phase, the hard cap is 100, and is that how cryptocurrency? So, okay, I think what she's asking is, how does the price of GX token related to the amount of tokens there are? It seems like that. I might be wrong because considering that. So look, there's a hard cap of 350 million, and we're releasing that 350 million into the public in tranches. So there's a hard supply and there's a soft cap supply, time. Because right now there's not 350 in circulation. There's only 100 million in circulation. So what ends up happening is, if there's more people that want to buy it than people that want to sell it, the price goes up. Right now, there's only buyers because it's a token issuance. So right now, the price will continue to go up. When we list our token on August 1st, the market will dictate what they want to pay for it. So if you bought it at 10 cents or if you bought it at 30 cents, on August 1st, the market on our platform, just like Bitcoin, will tell you, okay, no, it's worth $1, it's worth $2, it's worth 50 cents. And you have the option to sell it to the market just by clicking sell, or you have the option to hold it because you think now that the product is launched, the price is going to go up even more. And so it's really it's a preset price until August 1st. And after August 1st, it becomes a market price, which means it's dictated by the open market. Cool. Any last questions? If not, I will regress and let the people that invited you to the call to take over. Again, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your patience. It's not easy to listen to such a complicated presentation, and I really appreciate the time you guys took to listen to it. Please get back to the person that brought you here. We're at a very sensitive time. It's very exciting. And for those of you guys that are looking to get involved, and I'll just leave it off with this. The next crypto bull run is coming. I don't know when, I don't know how big, but because I'm not in the investment space anymore, but anyone who has any reasonable sense of market cycles knows that it's coming. If you remember the last crypto bull run, which was 2017, I only remember how many people asked me to buy Bitcoin. Like every person and their grandmother and their taxi driver asked me, can you get me Bitcoin? And I said, no, go sign up with Coinbase. Now, this bull run, I have a toll road that I can capture all of that value. So imagine having a toll road to the most valuable destination in finance. That is really what GX Broker is, combined with the GX operating system. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you so much, guys.
Great.
Perfect. 1 second.